Hello, Glenpool. Welcome to the August edition of Conversations with the City. We are excited to have Superintendent Curtis Layton back with us today to talk about what's going on at the school and some of the things that they've got planned for this upcoming school year and future years. Curtis, glad to have you back.
Good to be back. Thank you.
It's been about a year since we talked last time.
Yes.
And I know that there were a few things going on, but before we get into some of the strategic plan and other things that we talked about in our last video, it's back to school season. And
yes, it is.
Kids have started, they're back going. What are some of those important things that you want parents or students to know for this particular school year?
I think the most important thing we want parents and students to know is we're really stressing the importance of attendance. We've seen a drop in attendance not only in Glenpool but statewide over the last 3 years, and that's rebounding a little bit, but we want to see it rebounding a lot. We want to see kids back in school more consistently. And we know that it's hard for them to get the same education when they're at home. And so we're encouraging parents and students to, to be at school and be a part of things. So that's key, number one. We have also added to our secure entrances a system called Raptor that we will be asking folks to scan their IDs when they come in. And that will do an instant background check and helps keep our kids safe. So we'll also use that with our volunteer system. So I'm encouraging parents, if you're interested in volunteering in any capacity with the school, we are going to add a page to our web page where parents can sign up, choose the type of volunteer opportunities they'd like to do with the school, and then they can complete their background check right there online in one easy place. So
that's great.
It's going to be, we're trying to get more folks back in school in a safe manner.
Yeah, school safety is always a big piece.
Absolutely.
It's always important, and so I know that's it's been on based on our conversations in the past. It's been on your mind, and how do we do it better? So exciting to see those changes that you've made.
You bet.
What are some of the current challenges that the district faces? I know security has been some stuff we've talked about in the past, but what are your challenges today?
Security is always one that's top of our list, keeping our kids safe, and we certainly benefit from the partnership we have with the city, and our SROs do an outstanding job of making sure that our kids are well taken care of. We've had folks from Homeland Security come in and do assessments on our buildings and give us advice on ways that we can make our buildings even safer. Some different challenges that we have is space. We, as a growing district, we are always at a challenge to have space, and so we've done made a conscious effort in the last 2 or 3 years to be as efficient as we can with our staff and utilize every room that we have for something. In the next couple of years, we'll be looking at adding to our school through a bond issue, and more information on that will be coming out throughout this year. We are already working with an architect to develop a master plan for building in the district, and they are currently assessing our current facilities. So I think that's going to be a problem that's going to be continuing as the city grows, and so it's one that we're looking forward to.
It's a good thing to have growth, but with growth comes challenges.
Absolutely.
So especially in the school system and in cities for their facilities. I mean, facilities is always a big deal. Is how do we get the job done that we need to be getting done? I know that we talked a little bit last year. We were just getting into the process for the strategic plan.
Yes.
And that the school system went through a strategic planning process, met with lots of different groups and stakeholders around the city. You've kind of come out to the end of the planning process and have a plan in place and begin implementation of that here soon. So what are some of those visions and goals as part of that strategic plan? How do you plan to go about following that plan and achieving those goals?
Sure. We had the team did a great job. They worked for the last year putting this plan together, and they developed goals under 3 specific areas. The first, and I think probably the most obvious, is student achievement.
Right.
And so not only with those academic goals, we want to really define what we want our graduates to be able to do. Not only if they're graduating going to college, if they're graduating going to the workforce, if they're graduating going on to technical school.
Right.
We want to really define some of those soft skill characteristics as well. We want our kids to be able to collaborate. We want our kids to be able to do critical thinking pieces, and so along with just making good grades and scoring well, we want to build a profile of a graduate for Glenpool schools. Okay. And so we want to incorporate those things into those academic pieces as well. The second goal was on staffing and personnel. We know that 99% of our budget goes to personnel, and it should. I mean, teachers and our staff are the difference, and they're what make our engine go.
Absolutely.
And so we have got to not only recruit but retain good teachers if we were going to meet those academic goals. And the third one, they built goals around educational provisions, which are everything from facilities to extracurricular activities. We know that that's an important part of the high school, middle school, elementary school experience, is those activities that go with that. And so we want to make sure that we are developing that in kids as well. We want them to be not only lifelong learners, but have active and growth mindset minds as they continue through life. So we've got a page already built on our webpage that has the strategic plan, and I encourage anybody to go out there and look at it in its entirety. But we'll also be putting up updates as we go along. We're going to have some community forums and try to communicate this out and get some feedback from parents and stakeholders. So, like I said, it's on our webpage, and we'll continually update that, and it's an exciting step for us. So.
Absolutely. You mentioned briefly the teachers and the importance of hiring good teachers and having that staffing. I know we've been seeing, probably many of the people that will be watching this have been seeing a lot on the news about the difficulties of hiring. How are we doing in Glenpool?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I am super proud of our directors and principals, and they have gone out and they've staffed us up. I would say our teaching staff, we're at 99%. There's a couple of key areas that we could have would make us even more sound, but I would certainly put our staffing at any school in the area right now, and we've got a couple of support positions. We could always use bus drivers, right. So anybody out there can drive a bus, we can always use you. But yeah, we've done a good job, and we are well staffed right now. And I haven't been able to say that in the last 3 or 4 years of my career. So kudos to our folks that do the hiring. They've done a great job.
So a lot of different pieces of conversation here, but what do you want to make sure that you get out? What message do you want to share with the public that I haven't had a chance to ask you yet?
Probably most importantly is to maintain two-way communication with the school. With social media and when dealing with third-hand advice, second-hand advice, sometimes things get out that aren't necessarily true. We are very open to phone calls, emails. We want you to communicate with us, and the school will always communicate as soon as we have information to the public, and we'll be very transparent about what we do. And I just ask, if someone has a question or concern, give us a call. Perfect. We'll be glad to answer any questions that anyone has. So.
Perfect.
All right.
Always great to visit. Glenpool, thanks for sharing with us. Thanks for joining us today for the August edition of Conversations with the City.